All right, what a monster night for Walker Kessler and a big win for the Utah Jazz against the Toronto Raptors. Let's talk about the Raptors. Let's talk about the Jazz. It's the Hoops Nerd postgame show. All right, guys, before we get into this, let's just talk about Prize Picks. Make sure you go to Prize Picks and use promo code HoopsNerd. They will match up to $100. If you're into Prize Picks, if you haven't tried Prize Picks, what are you doing? Go there. Try it. It's free money. And you can go bet on Walker Kessler to get over on the rebounds. You will be raking it in with Walker Kessler. My goodness, that guy is an absolute rebounding block and honestly scoring machine. Just fantastic tonight. But anyways, go to Prize Picks, use promo code HoopsNerd. They will match up to $100. My treat. And it supports the channel. Thanks, guys. Why did I say thanks, guys? Anyways, the Utah Jazz got a win against the Toronto Raptors. Let's get into this. The name of the game is Walker Kessler, but let's first go into the Toronto Raptors. This Toronto Raptors team has been depressing to me because I thought they'd be better than they were this year. And they just kind of feel, I watch them here and there, and I'm always kind of interested with Scotty Barnes and how well he would do this year compared to last. And it's honestly been a little disappointing. I'm not going to lie. I mean, he put up numbers tonight, 18 points, 14 rebounds, 3 assists. He stuffs that stat line. It's crazy that he has a kind of a bad shooting night and a bad offensive night, although say hello to Walker Kessler, but still puts up big lines. But tonight, 30%. I mean, some of this you've got to think is Walker Kessler, and some of this is just some of his struggles offensively this year. Honestly, Toronto Raptors fans, by the way, some of the best fans in the NBA, if not, the best outside of Jazz fans, obviously. But anyways, let me know in the comments what your thoughts are on Scotty Barnes this season. What's going well? What's not? What do you think? What's because I've been a little disappointed. I thought he had a chance to just get even better. And there were moments tonight and he did knock down 2 threes, but I just felt like it was very apparent tonight that this Raptors team needed more shooting. Now, OG Anunoby wasn't playing, and he is a shooter, but he's mostly kind of a spot-up shooter and a defender. You can debate me in that in the comments if you want, and don't get me wrong, OG Anunoby is one of the elite wing 3-and-D players out there. That's why he's going for a high amount this trade deadline if they trade him. But it's just very clear they need Scotty Barnes to kind of take another step, and it hasn't really happened this year. Still putting up big numbers, still shows all the flashes, and he has the physical tools and talent to really get there, but some of the skill has just got to improve, and one of those things is shooting and then just experience. When we talk about players, you've got the physical the physical gifts or tools, whatever you want to call it, your wingspan, your size, your height, things like that. There's your talent. Like, how are you able to just, put those things together? It's like a culmination of your athleticism mixed with your physical tools. And then the skill. What's your ball handling like? What's your shooting like? You can't always help with the talent and the physical tools, obviously. Physical tools, you can get stronger, but you can't get taller. You can't get longer. Woo. But anyways, as far as the skill, that's where you can improve, and that's where Scotty Barnes needs to improve. And I think he can. I mean, that's the thing. Some guys you just can't get bigger. You can't get a longer wingspan, and your athleticism, you can only do so much, you can only do so many squats until you're not an explosive leaper. Some guys just have that God-given talent to leap. But Scotty Barnes, it's skill. It's shooting. It's a lot of those things. It's just figuring things out, and I think he can get there. But man, it's been a little disappointing this year. Pascal Siakam has had a really awesome season. He's just such a solid NBA player, and he's just like that number 2 that he was with Kawhi. Still, all-star caliber player that just puts up numbers tonight. 21 points, 10 rebounds. It's crazy the Walker Kessler effect this game, though. Precious Achiuwa, I thought that was such a nice pickup for the Raptors, 13.6 rebounds. I wonder if he can still continue to develop and become something more. Kind of been a weird year for the Raptors, not going to lie. It feels like a lot of development was going to happen, and they kind of took a step back. So kind of crazy that way. Fred VanVleet had a nice night against the Jazz, but one of the big stories for the Raptors has just been his. Oh, he had a triple-double. Holy smokes, 34 points, 12 rebounds, 10 assists. The Jazz can't get triple-doubles, but Fred VanVleet can. Holy smokes, 34 points, 12 rebounds, 10 assists. He had a monster night. And one of the big stories for the Raptors this year has just been Fred VanVleet's lack of shooting. I haven't been paying enough attention. I believe the Raptors won 2 games in a row before this one tonight. And maybe that's just because Fred VanVleet's finding his shot again. And like always, it's important to remember that the Toronto Raptors do not win the NBA Finals without Fred VanVleet absolutely saving them in multiple games and just going absolutely nuts. I mean, VanVleet was out of his mind in that finals that they won. A core part of it. It wasn't just Kawhi. Kawhi was a major part of it, obviously. But VanVleet had just some nights where he was hitting just absolutely monster, legendary shots. And that's why if I'm the Raptors and you just want to keep building, I mean, I get you know, you can try to drop, and I personally want that for the Jazz, but, you know, they've already got Scotty Barnes. If OG Anunoby is a big part of your future, then I think you keep him. But if you think that OG's not going to be on your team more than a couple of years, then I would trade him. And, you know, Fred VanVleet, I think it's going to take a big offer. You might get that 2028 pick. Oh, sorry, it's late. You might get that 2028 pick from the Clippers. Sounds like they're more willing to give that 2028 pick to them for VanVleet than they are for Mike Conley. All right, let's talk about the Utah Jazz. Let's just get into it. Walker Kessler is unreal. Walker Kessler is amazing. Walker Kessler deserves all the nicknames. King Kessler, I thought, was a fun nickname. King Kessler. Just unbelievable night from Walker Kessler. And the Jazz do not win this game without Kessler on the floor, playing 29 minutes, 17 points, 14 rebounds, 7 blocks, a near triple-double. The Jazz are cursed. They cannot get triple-doubles. But anyway, 17 points, 14 rebounds, and 7 blocks. He was masterful. And one of the things I noticed while I was watching is that the Raptors, when they just kept coming at him in that first half, and he kept just rejecting everything, it was unbelievable. They started running actions to get Kessler away from the rim. Like, they started having a lot of underneath screens, and some of that was the lack of shooting for the Raptors, especially with Anunoby out. But the Raptors, a lot of the players, you know, Scotty Barnes, Pascal Siakam, so much of their game is driving to the rim, and Kessler was just causing absolute havoc. And they were running multiple actions near the rim to, like, screen off Kessler, to hold him back, to find ways to get him away from the rim to get clearer shots. He's a rookie. They're doing that with Walker Kessler, who's a rookie, who, by the way, has not earned absolutely cemented himself into the starting lineup until like 9 games ago, maybe 10. So it's remarkable what impact he's having. The Jazz offense and defense with him has changed since he's been on. I don't really want to look it up right now, but let's just look it up. Why not? That's why we're here. But it's just completely changed the Jazz defense. It's made them better. I mean, I don't know what the effect will be when they start playing better teams, although the rest of the Jazz season now is against easier teams. Let's see, right here. So I want to look. You know what? Let's just take my word for it, because I have to look up what date where he started. So, but anyways, just take my word for it. Last time I looked, and before the last couple nights, it was like the Jazz were right around 9 or 10 with both offense and defense. Before then, if you follow this show, we watch it a lot. The Jazz offense was typically between 3 and 5 in the league offensively, pretty incredible. But defensively, they were like 25 or 26. That means that this time with Walker Kessler on the floor, they've jumped from like the 25th defense in the NBA, if not worse. Sometimes they've been like 27 to now like the number 10 defense in that span. It's unbelievable the effect he's having. He has changed this team. It's unbelievable. And he's also made Jared Vanderbilt expendable. So Danny Ainge has to be ecstatic. The fact that you have a new starter who's going to be on your team for at least 7 to 10 years, minimum, if not longer, and just be an absolute stud inside. And he's also got an offensive game. I mean, he showed tonight. I mean, he's not like this ultra dynamic offensive player with the jump shot. He can't shoot the ball. But man, he has hook shot. He got hook shots. He got floaters. He got dunks. He can just get the ball in the hoop when he's near the basket, especially if there's a smaller defender. And a lot of these guys are smaller than him because he's 7 foot plus, 7'1", whatever he is. How tall are you, Mr. Kessler? 7 foot. And he's a legit 7-footer. He's not, he's got that size. And so with his touch around the rim, it makes him a weapon offensively. Now, it does change some of the things the Jazz were doing so well at the beginning of the year offensively with the 5-out offense and what that does for them. But man, when you can run a pick and roll and it can run efficiently with Kessler, and they can't just drop off Kessler like they would with Rudy Gobert, and you can give him the ball and he can do a little baby hook and knock it down, that is huge. That's huge. And the thing is that makes him so good offensively too is he's got better hands than Gobert ever did. He catches the ball in every situation. There is never a point where you're worried about him bumbling the ball. You pass him. He's going to catch the ball. Now, if the defense makes a big play, that's one thing. But you're never going to see him just bobble the ball like we used to watch at least once or twice a game with Rudy Gobert. Why I think, honestly, Kessler, it's crazy, but I think he's on the same level of Gobert. Obviously, Gobert gets a little nod with the defensive prowess, although Kessler's getting really close. Holy smokes. Kessler just needs experience, and he'll get there. For example, just not biting on every pump fake, he's got to learn, and that's just going to take time and reps, but he's getting them. But offensively, he is far better, and his teammates trust him. You can see it. So, and he's honestly, this is the Walker Kessler night, and I'm okay with that because he was remarkable tonight. But his ability to he's just a humble player, He's not out there to just get his. He shot the ball 10 times tonight, but it was completely within the offense. And some of those were offensive rebounds. He had 7 offensive rebounds tonight. Unbelievable. The impact he has, his size, he's playing with physicality. And it's one thing I love to watch with players too, and we'll talk about this with Markkanen, is demeanor. Do you believe in yourself? Are you out there and are you ready to crush somebody? Are you are you going to be the bully or are you going to get bullied? And Walker Kessler out there is not being bullied anymore. And I don't even know if he was being bullied at any point this season. He has such a fun demeanor, and he's kind of just like a quiet. He just goes and does his work and runs back up the court, But he doesn't back down from anybody. He's not afraid, and he will make the play. And I wonder if he gets even more piss and vinegar in his game as he plays. Can't say enough. And he's a rookie. He is a rookie. Unbelievable. By the way, I've had this thought before. Team USA would be very smart to get Walker Kessler in camp right away and be the future center for this Team USA because he is a dominant. He's going to be an awesome Team USA player, right? When you think about all the bigs in the league, unless Joel Embiid plays Team USA, which he might, got so many good bigs in the league, but how many of them are American? He might be the American. I just think it's fun to think about, He's going to be so good for this Jazz team, and he's going to be just a star in this league. Everyone's catching on. It's really awesome. Didn't Joel Embiid get citizenship for the U.S.? I thought he did. If I'm wrong, let me know. Anyways, Lauri Markkanen, one thing I love this game. By the way, just 28 points, 13 rebounds. This duo of Markkanen and Kessler is going to be so awesome for this Jazz team for years to come. That's the duo. Unbelievable, this team that the Jazz have this year. It's driving me crazy because the Jazz really need to get a star in this draft. But they're too good. Walker Kessler is a freaking star himself. Lauri Markkanen's a superstar. This is insane numbers. And Toronto is a good defense. Or at least, I don't know. What are they defensively? Let's look it up. This is one thing I'm okay looking up. But Toronto, I know, is one of the best teams in terms of creating steals. They just create turnovers. So when they're talking about, the Jazz have so many turnovers. Well, that's the name of the game for the Raptors. Their whole team is 6'8" with super long arms, and they fill passing lanes and they steal the ball. That's what the Raptors do. That's a major part of what they do defensively. I'm curious what they are though overall defensively. Defensive rating. And this is for the season. We're not looking recently. Look at that. Jazz 26. But if you look at the last 10 games, it's different. Where is Toronto? Just down 19. Man. This Toronto team is kind of a sad story this year. I'm not going to lie. Ugh. How boring. I think that's one thing. Look at this. They're literally the same offensively and defensively. Every game is just right. That's so boring. I don't know. They are maybe the most vanilla team I can think of. They are just boring, and there's no super. I mean, they've got size and length, which is great. They get lots of steals. Curious. Like, look at that. Number one, 9 point, and it's like by far. Look at that. 9.2 steals per game. That's what the Raptors do. So, when you're talking about all these turnovers, well, it's the Raptors. That's part of it. So, I don't know. But it's interesting that they lead the league in steals and they have the number 19 defense. So that's like there's a study for you to think about. Do steals actually make your defense better? I don't know. Maybe not. Or maybe they just lack a rim protector. If this Raptors team had a rim protector, like a Walker Kessler, they'd be really, really impressive defensively, but they don't have it. So it's funny with these centers because teams, it's like you either have to have a superstar center and you pay them a lot, like a Joel Embiid or a Nikola Jokic or someone like that, or you're trying to get a rim protecting center on like a cheaper, more manageable contract, like a Zubac or someone like that, or like a Valanciunas or someone like that hopefully you can get for like a bargain. It's kind of like you don't want to be in the middle with your center. You don't want to overpay a center who's probably needs to be in the $10 to $15 million range, or you don't want to overpay. I don't know. Center's a tough position to pay in the league. You either need to be a superstar or you need to get someone on a really. I mean, it's why Walker Kessler is such an incredible contract. It'll be interesting to see what happens in 4 years, but man, with him this good, it does make you think like, man, how can we take advantage? It's going to be just fun to see what Walker Kessler becomes. But anyways, back to Lauri Markkanen. 28 points, 13 rebounds on 50, 40, 90 stuff. Look at this. This makes me happy because we're trying to get the 50, 40, 90 season. 10 for 10 from the free throw line. This is the stuff that gets me hyped, guys. Absolutely hyped. Lauri Markkanen, that stare down on Pascal Siakam gave me like, oh. Did anyone else just go like, oh, when I saw, do you know when when you're like starving and you get that Philly cheesesteak and it's just steaming and it's got just the right amount of sauce on it and you bite into it, it's so good. Oh my gosh. That's what that stare down did. Like, ugh. And what that tells me is that's the demeanor. And I love it. I love it. The demeanor that he has. He is not afraid of you, and he's not going to be back down. I was watching, I kind of want to rewatch this game because those two were going at it. And there was one point where Markkanen went at him, blew past him, and Pascal fouled him hard on the arm. Pascal said something, and Markkanen yapped right back, and I loved it. I adored it. I love that. That's what you need in basketball. You need, like, it's cliche, it's dumb. You need dogs. You need junkyard dogs on your team. And you have to have that in you because this is a league filled with guys that are trying to break your spirit every single night. They are working for contracts. This is their life. They are going to fight you. They are going to beat you down. They are going to bully you. If you don't believe me, go save up your monies and go watch a game from like row 6. Like, go watch one game. Save your money for the year. Spend it on 2 tickets for like $200. Save your money. Go to one game and go watch how much they pound against each other. Listen to what they say to each other. You have to have that ferocity. You have to. And that's what makes me so excited about Markkanen. Tonight, he was like, nope, that's not how it's going to go, Pascal. I am going to dunk it on you. I am going to score on you. And he absolutely did. He had his way. 28 points, 53% from the field, 44% from 3, and 100% from the free throw line. He took 10 free throws. This right here, this means I don't back down from you. I am not settling for shots. I am going to the rim. I am going to flex on you. You are going to have to foul me because if you don't, I am dunking that ball on your head. This is awesome. Awesome. And then 13 rebounds. I mean, look at this rebounding from the Jazz. And Kelly Olynyk played just 19 minutes, but man, this is exciting to watch. And this right here is, watch the Collins thing. If the Jazz aren't going to tank anymore, I don't know. I really hope they do. But if they are not, the upgrade from Kelly Olynyk to John Collins is pretty awesome. That is also something to think about because if they do somehow get Collins, and that was the rumor that came out today is that John Collins, his value. They're not asking for so much for Collins because no one is going to give them what they're asking. Christian House Money to Haas, you made it, my man. $5. Thank you, Christian. I appreciate it a ton. Let's see. What does Christian have to say? I'm so much happier with this season. Win or lose, trades or not, this is better. 100%. Everyone I talk to agrees with you, by the way. House Money. Everyone agrees. It's just more fun. You've got young players. You've got players like Walker Kessler and Ochai Agbaji that it's fun to root for and watch them develop and grow. It's just fun. I don't care what anyone says. You get young players, rookies, guys that you're excited about from the draft that start playing. It's fun to watch them develop and grow. Like every game, Walker Kessler is just getting better, and that's fun to watch. And then you've got someone like Larry Markkinen, who everyone had given up on, and he's having just an absolute revolutionary year and has become just honestly incredible. He's getting paid like $18 million a year and putting up like Kevin Durant type numbers. This is bonkers. This is crazy. He's making $18 million a year. Walker Kessler's making like $1 million a year. Are you serious? Are you serious? And that's actually a theory I have to think about and talk about. Man, I shaved. I still got a hair in my arm. Ugh. But anyways, that's one theory that I have is contracts. I think that is the future of winning a championship. Is obviously you have to have talent, but the teams that manage their contracts the best are the ones that will win titles. Because one thing we've learned from this Jazz team is that you have to have 5 players that can do multiple actions. And if you have that, then you can win games. And by the way, Walker Kessler is showing that he can actually be that. He doesn't fit within a 5-out offense. He doesn't. So he's in certain situations where they're going to try to spread the floor. He's going to be in the dunker's spot. That's okay. Because guess what? He can do multiple actions. It's not like Rudy Gobert where if he doesn't dunk the ball, he can't do anything else. If Walker Kessler gets the ball near the hoop and he's got a mismatch like a smaller defender on a switch or something like that, he'll make a little baby hook. He'll knock it down. They can't hide players on Walker Kessler like they could with Rudy Gobert. So it changes everything. It changes everything. And he's only going to get better. It's crazy. I thought I lost where I was going with that. But anyways, it's just a fun team. You've got Larry Markkinen. You've got guys that are trying to prove themselves like Colin Sexton. Mike Conley and Jordan Clarkson look like they're just having more fun. Mike Conley's having by the way, like a kind of a vintage year. He, for like a month there, you could tell that injury was still he wasn't fully recovering, but man, the last 2 or 3 nights, 2 or 3 games, he's just played so well. 19 points, 8 assists. Conley, by the way, back to being the Prize Picks winner. If you want to get assists, a lot of times Mike Conley's getting it for you because they usually put that line about 7, and he got it at 8. Jordan Clarkson, look at that, 5 assists. Clarkson had a nice night shooting the ball. He hit some big shots at the end, and we've got to give a lot of credit to Jordan Clarkson for his ability to score at the end of games. I mean, the difference between last year and this year, where we have a coach that actually requires accountability and actually gets on his players and demands accountability, it's changed this team. It's more fun. Teams that actually have accountability are fun to watch, and players get better. Surprise, surprise. Surprise, surprise. If you have expectations with players, if you actually demand of them to improve, to defend, to run the offense, to do all these different things, oh my goodness, they actually do it. And look at this. Jordan Clarkson is happy. And the thing is players are happy to do that because guess what? Jordan Clarkson just earned himself a lot of money this season. Look at these numbers. 8 for 17, 40% from 3 tonight, 5 assists. This is where you get excited. 23 points. They have to treat Jordan Clarkson like a playmaker because that's what he is. He will find the open man. He will make the lob. He'll pass to the inside man. He'll kick it out for a 3, whatever. And he's knocking down shots at a super efficient clip. And one thing that's nice about Clarkson is he can create his own shot. So when you're in a difficult or dangerous situation, you can give the ball to Jordan Clarkson. So just a fun team. Colin Sexton also just putting up efficient numbers. This is back to what he is. What I do love about Colin Sexton, 2 things, is the fire and the efficiency. Like one thing he does, and I know he's got blinders, and you'll see turnovers with him. Look at that, 3 turnovers in 19 minutes. So the 4-to-3 assist to turnover ratio, not ideal, but he can also develop as well. But the thing that's so nice is the efficiency is always there with him. You know, putting up this type of efficiency is just awesome from a 6th man. And I wonder if they do just kind of look at Colin Sexton as their 6th man for the next 4 or 5 years. He can come in, play 20 minutes, put up 12 points, 4 assists on high efficiency, knocking down threes, getting to the line. It's great. And then, Malik Beasley hit the threes tonight. Him and Jared Vanderbilt, by the way, are these are the guys that are likely getting traded. And I think once they are traded, it'll be interesting to see what the Jazz look like. Do they continue to win, or do they drop in the standings? We shall see. But my goodness, this team is just so good. The Jazz have a star at head coach. The Jazz have a top 5 head coach. They didn't have one last year. I don't care what anyone says. They got out-coached every single playoffs the last 3 years. Will Hardy does 2 things better. He develops these players better, and he's not getting out-coached in these games in terms of just strategy. He's awesome. Awesome. And he's getting more out of players than we ever did. Unbelievable. It's unbelievable what we're seeing. It's just absolutely impressive stuff. Here's the DMPs, but man, this is the team for the Jazz, and it's unbelievable. We'll see what happens next game, but this trade deadline is February 9th, guys. That's in 8 days. Is anybody scared? I'm taking February 9th off. I think I'm going to take that off from work, my day job, and I think I'm going to just go live during trade deadline. If anyone wants to go live with me and just watch what happens, and we can just be live and chill and eat some food and just see if the Jazz make a trade and react to it and overreact to it or underreact to it if nothing happens. But pretty sure, Jared Vanderbilt is and I've heard a few things, but I would not be surprised if Jared Vanderbilt is traded. If there's an over-under on Prize Picks, the Prize Picks doesn't do it. DraftKings needs to come support my channel, by the way. But I would bet on that if I was you. If I was you, like I told you with Donovan Mitchell, I would bet on Jared Vanderbilt. I'll just say that. And I love Jared Vanderbilt, but Walker Kessler has changed the team in an incredible way. All right, guys, let's do our nightly mock, or what do we call it? I forgot what we call it. What do we call it? I don't even know if we've ever had a name. It's our Tankathon simulation, our draft sim for lottery night, our lottery sim. That's what we'll call it. That's right, Shantheric, Jared Chanderbilt. We will live and chill. Whatever that, take from that what you will. All right, so Detroit sucks. They have the number 1. The Jazz still have a lottery pick after tonight. It's why, even with this team playing like they are, they can jump up to here. This stupid Toronto Raptors, by the way. All right, and I think Toronto's going to drop. We'll see. They got Scotty Barnes. I would not be surprised if they want to pair someone else with Scotty Barnes and just kind of build from there. It's a smart thing to do, honestly. All right, let's sim this lottery, baby. Whoa! We got number 2, Scoot Henderson! Can you imagine that? The heir apparent to Mike Conley coming on this team. He's going to be getting buckets. He's going to be getting lobs to Walker Kessler all day, every day. Scoot Henderson in a Utah Jazz uniform, lighting up the scoreboard every night, giving us dunks that will make your heart flutter. Yeah. I'm just going to pretend like that's real. We didn't get number 1, but guess what? We got number 2. Could you imagine? That, pairing him with Kessler and Lauri Markkanen? That team's going to be so freaking good if we get that. Are you serious? Are you kidding me? Could you imagine? Let's speak it into existence. Make it happen, Danny. Make it happen. Do you want to win a title, Danny? Submit yourself in the Hall of Fame as a GM? Come on, baby. Get Will Hardy his ring, baby. Get us our banner. Get us a banner. All right, that got me hyped. All right, should we give a shout out to our All-Stars? Should I put my face all big again? Oh. This is what's going to happen if the Jazz win the lottery. But whoa, whoa, whoa. This is the run. All right, let's see. Let's give a shout out to our all-stars, the ones supporting the channel. If you want to become an all-star, join the channel. Support what we're doing here. It's a movement. It's an irritation to the higher-ups. It's what we do. Anyways, give us a shout out to the man from down under. I'm giving myself the hiccups. When I get overly excited, I get the hiccups. The man from down under, Ezekiel Raicibe. See ya, Lexa Later, Bill Ford Tough, Alexander Tufts, Jerry Chanderville, Shan Therick, Jorge Arrizaga, mi amigo de Bajo, Baby Elliot Matson, Jordan the Goat Besserell, Just Buckets, JB, Zap, Watts, TGD Total Game Domination, Christian House Money to Haas, Tyson Price, The Price is Right, X marks the spot for Zintus, Joshua Hansen, the Danish Destroyer, Austin, our Grant Editor Extraordinaire, Donald Schooley, schooling all of us, DW to CB, Darren Williams to Carlos Boozer, Patrick Kubo, the Connoisseur, and Robert Hall of Fame. Oh, by the way, guess what? My basketball team, the Junior Jazz, the Hunters, 5-2, baby, knocked off the number one. They were complaining. They were mad. They were scared, and we came and dominated them. Shout out to the Hunters, baby. Getting that win. Redemption. Redemption. Guys, like and subscribe to the channel. I will talk to you next time.